Nursing homes are suing the family and friends of their former residents for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm JJTP, a lawyer, not your lawyer. This is advice and a story you need to hear because it can save you a lot of money. This example, we're not hiring a lawyer to save a few bucks is going to cost you massively in the long run. Let me explain. This is a story that's near and dear to my heart because I'm going through it currently. When your family member is admitted to a nursing home, they often can't speak for themselves, and you're presented with paperwork for their admission. In my case, I was sent a link from DocuSign to just sign a 15-page agreement by just clicking it, because just like any terms of service, you just click it, right? Wrong. This is not a normal terms of service. This is a legally binding agreement, and because I'm JJTP, a lawyer, I actually read it. There's very sneaky language in these agreements that's very common, and that a layperson will miss. Let me show you. I have a copy of one of the contracts, and I'm going to put it on the screen here. It's very small, pause to read, but I'm going to read it for you. It says, by entering into this agreement, the patient, the patient's spouse, and or the patient's responsible party, and that's the language that you need to pay attention to. What that clause goes on to say is responsible for paying the patient's bill at the end of service. Because your family member can't sign for themselves, and you receive a DocuSign and click it, you become the responsible party, and unwittingly, you expose yourself to legal liability and being sued for that patient's bill. And we're not talking about small bills. These nursing homes often charge over $1,000 a day, and the patient's NAMBI, which is like a co-payment for Medicaid, can sometimes be over $5,000 a month, depending on the person's income. To be eligible for Medicaid, you have to spend down your assets, with some exceptions. For example, in New York State in 2021, you're allowed to keep $15,900 worth of assets, and that includes your house, bank accounts, insurance, anything you may have. Beyond that, you have to spend it down before you're eligible to receive Medicaid. Going forward, if you're in long-term care like a nursing home, whatever income you may have goes towards your copay, the NAMBI, and you only get to keep a small stipend. So whatever money you have stashed away for your children or grandchildren's inheritance is taken away and applied to Medicaid if you don't do some type of asset protection, like create a trust. But we can talk about that in another video. Back to the story. So when that NAMBI can't be paid for any number of reasons, for example, it's miscalculated, it's too much, or there's any type of excess bill, the nursing home then looks to sue the person. But when they can't get the person, they sue the responsible party, you, who clicked the DocuSign. By clicking that one button on the DocuSign, you could have cost yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars in a lawsuit for someone who might not be your family member or someone you might not even like. I'm just saying. Yes, it is against federal law and regulations to make family and friends be responsible financially for their relatives, but it happens anyway. Technically, facilities can't even make the requests, but they do. You saw it yourself. As a result, people are sued each year for thousands of dollars just because they clicked the button and didn't read the documents. Quite often, they feel they can't hire a lawyer, so they don't show up to court, and the nursing homes get a default judgment against the person. Nursing homes have also sued people claiming fraudulent conveyance, that the person took the resident's assets and didn't apply it properly to the NAMBI, with no evidence. Quite often, people feel they can't afford to hire a lawyer, and they often can't. And as a result, nursing homes have used this tactic to get default judgments against people. They use these default judgments, to which they applied 18% interest rate, to garnish people's wages, tax returns, and your Social Security, all because you clicked a button. This is why you should always read what you sign, even if it's just a click. Or better, hire a lawyer to review important documents like this for you before you sign. I get it, lawyers are expensive, but that's why you should like, follow, and share so other people have this information and other information like